Okay, so what I thought would do, and I thought it'd be really fun, is to strip down the house to just the furniture. As you guys can see here in the living room, all of the accessories are gone, all of the pillows are gone, and it looks very bare. Hello everyone, welcome back to Ramon at Home. How are you doing today? Can you believe it's another Sunday? By the way, did you know there is a brand new video every Sunday? If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell on so you are notified every Sunday when a brand new video goes up live. But in this video, I want to talk to you about how to decorate our homes from scratch. After the holidays, let me just tell you, it's a mess, right? Your house looks big, airy, spacious, empty. You can hear an echo, echo, echo. I know I can, but in this video and in this series, I'm gonna share with you how to decorate your house from scratch. I took everything out of my house except the furniture, and I'm gonna share with you how to put the layers back together to create a beautiful home that you love to be in. That is my main goal for this season. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you already subscribed, don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you are notified about every single upload. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. Okay, so what I thought would do, and I thought it'd be really fun, is to strip down the house to just the furniture. As you guys can see here in the living room, all of the accessories are gone, all of the pillows are gone, and it looks very bare. There is basically just the furniture. I'm gonna walk you now over to this side right here so you guys can see that there is nothing but the bench and that large piece of artwork because it's really heavy. I didn't want to take that one down. So now let me walk you into my dining room where I also strip it down to just the furniture so you guys can see how we put our house back together after the holidays step by step. So here is the console with no artwork, just a lamp. My dining table is also bare to the minimum. All there is basically a rug that is a matching rug to the living room, and then the bar cart is also empty and my curtains are down. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna share with you how I decorate my house step by step. Starting with the artwork, we're gonna put all of the artwork back up and you guys will see the difference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna pin out real quick, starting right here in this corner, and I'm gonna let you have one last quick look of what the house looks like with no artwork, no upholstery other than the sofa and the chairs, no other textiles. It is very minimum, but now I'm gonna put the artwork up and show you what's next. Okay, so this next step was to add the artwork, and as you guys can see, it really helps to fill in the walls, creating a lot of character on the rooms. Right here, we added the large picture as I showed you before, and on the archway going into the dining room, I added a collection to fill in my wall into the dining room. Now I'm going to pan out over to this side because right here we have a large mirror. I'm gonna say hi to you, hi. And then on this corner right here where a secretary desk will go, we have another set of pictures. So now I'm gonna pin over here to this side, and entering into the dining room, you guys can see this gallery wall of artwork that I just absolutely love. My grandma's painting, and then all of these framed pictures that I actually have gathered at different antique stores and other thrift stores and garage sales and all kinds of sales. And as you guys can see, it's very balanced. I'm gonna pin out so you guys can see. Walking into the dining room, you can see the balance on each side of the wall. And if I go over to this side, then you'll be able to see how many pictures there is in the room, which really helps it to create a lot of character. And as I pan out, you'll see the continuation on the archway wall. And adding artwork just really does help to add all the character to your home. And the next step is going to be so much fun, so keep watching. Before we continue with our next step, which will be the adding of the patterns with pillows and curtains, drapes, what I want to do is I want to talk about cleaning. You guys, this is the perfect time for you to bring out that dustpan, the dust cloth, these beautiful cleaning supplies, and give all of your furniture a good wipe. So that way, when you add your accessories and pillows and other things to your home decor, you will not have to move anything that is on your tabletops, on your console table, and that way it'll be spotless and clean. I will be coming up with a favorites list of the things that I like to clean that have worked for me in the past, including my sweep and my mop, my favorites. I cannot wait to talk to you about that, but I really hope that you are enjoying this video, and the next step is going to be to add some patterns into this home. All right, everyone, so the next step is to add the patterns to our home, and I'm gonna do that right here in the living room by adding the pillows to the sofa and my chairs. And you know, I have these beautiful cheetah print bolster pillows that I got on Amazon.com, and I'm gonna put a link down below in case you want to get them. So what I like to do when I have a sofa like this is put some bolster pillows right here on the armrest, because it just adds a lot of texture to my sofa. It allows me to add another pattern and more color to the sofa. So now I'm gonna get some more pillows over here. Now I have gathered a collection of pillows, and I think I have a pillow problem because there's not a pillow that I ever seen that I didn't like. But what I like about this one is because it has a plaid pattern on one side and a beautiful navy blue velvet on the other side. So I always like to add this one second. Then what I like to do is I add a catty corner to my bolster pillow with the pattern facing that way. And what I like to do is give it a karate chop. A lot of people ask, what is that karate chop? It just makes it look more stylized, and it's more visually pleasing to the eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add this guy right here and give it another karate chop. And so now we have a small pattern, a solid, basically. Now I'm gonna go get my other pillow, which is going to be the one that has the most beautiful pattern in it. It has the basic fabric like the sofa, but it has a lot of the blue and the green and the white that just ties it all together. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give him a little fluff, and I'm gonna grab my pillow and once again put it kind of catty corner, give it a karate chop, and I'm gonna do the same on this side. Now I want to mention that this particular pillow right here, and I think I've told you this before on my home tour for spring. If you have not seen that, I'm gonna link it somewhere here on the screen also below so you can check it out. But what I did is I have the matching drapes that go into the dining room, and I always like to do that, buy extra panels of drapery so that way I can have some custom made pillows, so that way my home is cohesive all throughout. Now the other thing is that it has a blue welt, and it just happened to be that way that this pillow matches. But to kind of have more texture into your patterns, the one thing that you can do is do a welt, a pleat, but in a contrasting pattern. And I picked this navy blue from the pattern right here to kind of just finish that pillow more beautifully. So now this is what it looks like. As you guys can see, we have a small pattern, a solid, and a larger pattern. When you are mixing patterns in your home, I really recommend that you do have a small pattern, and then you kind of color block it with a solid, or even like this could be like a polka dot, something really small, but I would really recommend a solid, and then you advance to a larger pattern. So now I'm gonna go into the dining room. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do there to kind of make it all cohesive with patterns. So come with me. Have you given this video a thumbs up? I really want to invite you to give this video a thumbs up, because that really helps this channel, and it is free, so why not, right? And then also don't forget to follow me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all the things that you will not get to see here on my YouTube channel. Trust me when I say this spring season, you would not want to miss anything. All right, let's get back to the video. Okay, so I am in my dining room, and I want to talk to you about how to bring pattern into your dining room. And the way I like to do that here is with my drapery, with my accent chairs, and then also with my tabletop, which I'll be talking to you later on in this video. But I want to start with the drapery. You guys know that when I decorate for Christmas, I have these beautiful plaid drapes. But what I want to mention is that when I took my regular drapes out. I went ahead and washed them so they were clean. And then I store them in the little packages that they come, as you guys can see, because they're easier to store that way. So what I like to do in hand is tape measure and then also my curtain rings. So I'm gonna put those to the side, and I just want to go ahead and undo my curtain, and I'm going to start ironing this guy, starting from the top to the bottom. But actually, in order to do that, I'm gonna move the rings and my tape measure. You'll see why this will come in handy in a second. And I always like to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these panels a iron because they were folded. And if you were to hang them like that, they're going to be all creased. And well, that's a really no visually, it's not visually pleasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna give them a iron real quick, and I'll be right back to give you the next step on how to do pattern in your dining room. Keep watching. So I thought I'd tell you a story about why I love drapes so much, you guys. When I was a kid, I was that kid whose room was always clean, right? And every Sunday, my dad would give us like 10 pesos, which equals out to like 10 cents, I think. And so we'd go to the flea market, and at the flea market, you can find food and fruit and beverages. But I remember I used to love to save my money every Sunday until I had enough money to buy something for my room. I remember one time I was walking through this flea market and I saw the most beautiful, well, not, I thought they were the most beautiful back then, but they were the gaudiest drapes from like the 1800s. And I just thought I had to have them. And I remember I spent all of my money on them. And I went ahead and got to a room and hanged them. And I was just so in love with it. I wish I had a picture because they were like the most god-awful drapes you guys would ever see. But I just remember since I was a little kid, I just love patterns and fabrics and drapery and all things accessories for the room. All right, so I'm done with one panel. So now I'm gonna share with you why I need a tape measure. There's some areas that are really like hard to iron because they've been stacked, you know, folded for so long, but all you have to do is keep going back and continue ironing. Okay, so now that my drapes are ironed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is the top. No, that's not the top, that's the bottom. So we have to make sure that they are on the top. So I'm gonna grab the top right here. I'm gonna get rid of my ironing. I'm gonna put it right here. And so what I want to do is I'm gonna grab my tape measure. And if you want the perfect pleat, you have to make sure that you measure this guy right here. So this is 46 inches. So if we divide 46 by 10, that would give us about 4.5 inches because we want 10 pleats. But if I do, okay, so can you do 45, Jamison? Thumbs up for Jamison on the background who's operating the camera. So we have 46, divide that by 9. 46 by 9? 5.1. Let me see, how long of a pleat do I want? A 5 inch, how about yeah, I'm gonna do a 5-inch pleat, so a 5.1. So you want to lock your tape measure at 5.1, and then you wanna bring your rings, and you wanna start your first ring at the first one, and then after that you want to do a 5-inch, 5.1 inch, and then you want to make sure that you add your next ring right there, and then that's gonna be a 9 point or a 9 pleats. I want 9 pleats on my drapery, so what I'm going to do is continue with my tape measure every 5 inches, and so that way I can have 9. If you wanted to do 10, then you just divide whatever the length of your panel by 10, and that will give you the amount of pleats that you can get. You know, I could have done 8 pleats, but I always like to do 9. I like not even numbers, odd numbers. I think that they create the most beautiful placing. So I'm almost done right here. I'm gonna add one right here. So basically you just wanna pinch your ring. These rings are from Walmart, you guys. You can go to Walmart, you can go to any hardware store. You can go to Amazon.com and order them. And I just think that if you put them on the rod, they kind of wrinkle, they ruche, and I don't like that look. I like more the look of a pleat, and because these ones don't have the pockets on the back, then what you can do is get these rings and then make yourself some pleats by adding these rings. All right, so I'm gonna add the last one right here. Look at that, perfect. Perfect math, Jameson. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pleat them on my hand by using my thumb, and I'm going to share with you what it looks like in a second. But look at this. You just push that pleat out like this, and then you put that ring on your thumb. And once you have them like this, what you do is you make sure that you put that pleat, and look at all those pleats, they are perfect at the same length. So now I'm gonna finish the other one. I'm gonna hang it on the window and I'll show you the end result. And I'm gonna continue to add pattern to this dining room because I love patterns, so keep watching. Okay, so I wanna give you an update of what the house is looking like now that we've added all of the artwork, as you guys can see. And then also we added the patterns on the fabric. I have a set of chairs over on this side, and by the way, these are from Target, believe it or not. But I added the matching pattern on this side, and it's going to reflect over on this side right here. So on this sofa, I added the little pillow with the cheetah print, and then also the large pattern that matches the chairs. And if I zoom out right here, you can kind of get a full view of both of the rooms. So far, you can see all of the artwork, and I'm gonna take you now in to the dining room so you can see what I did over here. What I've done is I added the drapery, which matches the pillows. Remember, it's the same fabric, they're custom made. And then over here, I added the cheetah print chairs, which ties in with the sofa perfectly. Over here, I have all of the artwork that we added, and the lamp that also has the blue and white, which we'll be talking about in a minute. But I wanna paint now that now there is no accessory, so the next step is going to be to add the greenery, and I'm gonna share with you why you should add greenery to your house after the holiday season. You know how after the holiday season it just feels empty and bare? Well, we're gonna add some green. So let me get all those ready and I'll be right back. Okay, so it is day number 2 of decorating my house from scratch. As you guys can see, I took everything out. I started putting all the stuff back together, and in between that, I went ahead and gave my house a really good cleaning. And now I want to talk to you about how to decorate with greenery. You guys, this is the best way to replace all of your Christmas greens, your Christmas tree, your wreaths, your swags, and just replace it with some faux plants, faux greenery, or even real greenery. And I'll be talking to you about both of them in a minute. I'm gonna create a beautiful arrangement with just greenery. I'm gonna talk to you about a few green indoor plants, and then also some faux plants are already potted and ready to go. And before I do that, I want to take a second to shout out my grandma who bought me this for Christmas. You guys, how sweet is this? It has the logo of the channel, and I'm just so blessed and so thankful to have them, my mom and my grandma, both in my life. My mom also got me a matching hat, a set of hats, because she got some done in gold and some done in silver, and it was the perfect Christmas gift I could ever receive. Anyways, I just wanted to shout him out real quick. Now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna show you how to create a beautiful arrangement with greenery. Okay, so now I'm gonna share with you how to create a spectacular bouquet of greenery and twigs that can be put on your entryway table, your console table, in front of a mirror, in case you want to create a little bit of drama with your greenery. And for that, I'm gonna use this clear container, they're super tall, and then also a selection of foliages and greenery and twigs. But before I do that, I want to answer a question from one of you, the viewers, that had a question about floral design, and she left this comment on our Valentine's video. Her name is Shelia Power, and it reads like this. I love the rose bouquet and the lantern, my favorites. I have a question. I have a large glass vase, kind of like this one right here, that I would love to do a revised bouquet in fur for my large dining room table. How do you suggest doing that so nothing shows at the bottom? So basically she wants to know, how do we do a bouquet so nothing shows on the clear container? Well, I have some of these foliages right here. You can find this at Hobby Lobby. You can find them anywhere the foliages are sold. And what I did is I took them out of the stem and I just put 2 inside right here. I'll show you real quick. So as you guys can see, just back to back, and that will cover all of our stems and all of the things, so that way you will not see anything inside the clear container. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right here. Another thing I wanna talk to you about is every time that I do a container, I like to use a riser because I don't like it to just sit on top of the books or the table for that matter. I just like it to have a little bit more of a presence by adding a little riser or a wood base. And I actually, when I'm at thrift shopping or antiquing, I look for those because they come in handy very, very often, at least for me. All right, so once we have our container and we have added those leaves, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some of these fake twigs. Now you can use any kind of twig you might find outside in your yard. I just don't have any trees, so these fake ones will have to do. And as you can see, I'm going to crisscross them like this, and I just want them to go as wild as possible. I want them to be as tall as possible because remember, we're trying to do something large, and so it has a lot of presence. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these other leaves, the ones that are inside, and I'm gonna bend down like this, and I'm gonna add one right here, facing to my right. And remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, so we're going to bend another one, and I'm gonna go all the way back here, like that. Remember, we want it to be as large as possible, so it really has a lot of presence. And I'm gonna bend another one, and I'm gonna put it right here on the front to cover the whole circumference of my bouquet. Look how pretty that is. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring some of this fern. I like to add the fern first, and my recommendation is that when you're making a floral bouquet or any sort of bouquet for that matter, I always like to mix at least 3 types of greenery. And for that, I'm gonna use this beautiful fern. Look how absolutely spectacular this is from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to add one right here, repeating what I just did. I'm gonna add one to my left. I'm gonna go over here to my right. And then I'm going to do one from the back to fill in the whole void of it. Look how spectacular and how large this looks. And you can always intertwine them like this to fill in. All right, so now I'm gonna add my third foliage, and it's going to be this right here. This, believe it or not, is from Walmart. It's my favorite foliage from Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do exactly the same thing, just give it a little curvature. And I'm going to add this guy right here. And that's what's gonna help us fill in. I'm gonna add one right here. Look at that, it just has a lot more presence by adding so many of these greeneries. This is something you would see at a fancy hotel. You know, they do big, large bouquets of greenery just to make a statement, because greenery is very affordable versus flowers. And that way they don't spend a lot of money, but they gave you a big show when you walk into one of those hotels. And then I'm gonna add one right here to the top. I'm going to give it a little fluff to intertwine them so they look more mixed together. And just like that, you get yourself a beautiful bouquet of greenery for any table in your home. And it makes a spectacular statement, don't you think? Here in the living room, I want to add also some greenery in front of this beautiful mirror. Last year, I had a beautiful floral arrangement, some pictures, and a lamp. But now, because I have both lamps and they're doing perfect symmetry, what I want to do is just add a green grass plant to kind of create a statement. And now I want to mention that this is 2 palms that I bought at a local store when I lived in Kansas called Nail Hills. And I put it on this container that is made out of silver, and then I just added some moss around the collar to fill it in. And as I mentioned to you before, I always like to have some sort of a riser so my container doesn't sit by itself or on top of the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this guy right here, and as you guys can see, it just creates a little bit of drama here in the living room. It doesn't really cover the mirror. I can still see myself, but it adds that touch of greenery that we need after the holiday season. What do you guys think? All right, so here in my coffee table, or on my coffee table, I should say, I have my tray that I have not gotten rid of for Christmas because I just bought a new one that is going to be for a theme for spring 2023, but I will talk to you about that in an upcoming video. So what I wanted to do is bring some greenery. I could do a flower bouquet, or I could do a candle, or I could do other things, but because, you know, like I told you, this time of the year, when we remove all of the greenery from Christmas, I just missed that. So what I did is I got some green planes. These are real. And remember I told you I like to put something on the base, so that way this doesn't rest straight on the table. And what I did is I just went ahead and bought some little plants from Home Depot, and I put them on this container, and that way they're easy access. If you need to go water them, you can take them to the sink, water them, and then let them drain and put them back on the container. So now I just put it right here, and that way it gives me some of the blue and white I love. It really kind of fills in with my coffee table, and it is the perfect accessory after the holiday season. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment down below.